So in order to see what's actually going on in your heart, you need to cultivate a certain type of perception in order to be made aware of those things. So that's the correct sense of 智 here. It's not knowledge in general, but it's a certain way of knowing. So the best literal translation you
彼はね、だから13 way of knowing って言ってんだけど、さっき言った物事の本質を理解するという、ね。
could manage here is probably something like putting
単なる知識じゃなくて物事の本質を知る、
物事の本質としての理を極める、それによって知識を知るの。一つ一つ物事を理を極めていけば、やがて物事の道理を体得てくる。物事の道理の本質だよね。
それをアウェアネスって言ってるんですね。
物事の道理。アウェアっていうのは体得っていうのね。これ何度勉強しても忘れちゃうんだけどね。要するに陽明学は知をいたすっていうのは領地に至るってことで、領地って生まれながらに持ってる本質的な正しいこと。陽明学はね、最後書いてある。生まれながらに持ってる自然善悪を誤らない正しい知恵で、朱子学はそうじゃなくて、物事の道理を体得できる。だから生まれながらに持ってるそういうものじゃなくて、ものをずっと見ていけばね、物事の道理が分かってくる。物の道理って。僕は前も言ったように、朱子学も陽明学も結局言おうとしてること同じじゃないかと思ってるんだけどね。でも陽明学はどちらかというとなんとか勤労派の考え方で、もっと体制を壊すような考え方だって言うけど、まあ物を正すということがまあそうかもしれないね。
that way of knowing into place. But it's very important that these things say something to an audience in the target language. And I think the problem with philosophical translations from the Chinese, and one of the reasons that Chinese philosophical concepts are so little known in the West, is that the translations are usually so extremely turgid. And it's exactly because
タージットとはね、よく言ったな。複雑で分かりにくい。
they are so careful, the translators, to preserve the structure
彼っていうのはここのアウェイキングでアウェイネスのこと言ってんだな。
and literal meaning of the original that they become almost impossible to read in English. So what you need here is this type of knowing, this type of knowledge, this
だからタイプノーインとかノレスって説明苦しんでる。
this way of knowing. It's a certain
だから要するに物事の道理をね、本質を理解する。
それを
internal
この一文字で表現してる。
そうそうそう。
organ of perception, more or less.
インターナルオーガンof perception。
It's an awakened eye that lets you see the inner workings of your own psyche. Now, an awakened eye, it sounds very mystical, but it's not. What it means is simply that you have to get used to observing what's going on inside of you. And this is something that people have done for thousands of years. It's something that you can train yourself to do, but it's something that we usually don't train ourselves to do today. And all of our education system is sort of focused on drawing attention from what's going on inside you. It's focused on analyzing stuff out there. But we don't learn to discriminate and put names on feelings, sensations, thoughts, complexes in the mind, to use the mind to look at the mind, or use the heart to look at the heart. And that's
このですからアウェイクネスを説明してるわけです、いろいろ。
that's the idea that's in the final step here, D, that you have to train yourself in the observation of things. And there's a rather mysterious little phrase here, this observation of things, gu in the original. exactly what this gu means in this original context we cannot be sure of. But since the Song dynasty, it's habitually explained with something like the investigation of things, and it can be internal and external things. As I've already made clear, I think that what this actually means is to simply observe what's actually going on in the world and in your mind. Because remember that this is supposed to be the most basic operation, you know? When you wish to make your clear virtue manifest in the world, then you have to do X, Y, Z, and then you end up with this most basic principle. So this is for anyone. This is like the most basic operation that the sage and the fool are equally.
セージ&フールってね、ここで言って賢人とバカ。
Equally capable of doing, you know. So the idea is that you open your eyes, you take a look at exactly what's going on without preconceptions, without
物事をじっと見ればっていうね、
prejudice. You learn to
偏見持たないでね。
independently observe what's going on in the world, but also what's going on in your mind, and then you use this experience in order to authentically establish what your intentions
汚染って書いてこれ本質的に、神聖にだな、これ確実に。
are, and then you continue up this staircase. So in short, we could say that the answer to how to cultivate your person is to establish an authentic relationship to being. That's how I like to formulate it, because I'm a Heideggerian. And
これね、ダガリアンってわかんない。
ハイデガリアン。
わかんない。
ハイデッカーのハイデガリアン。
あ、そうか、そうだ。ハイデッカーだ。なるほど。
the truly interesting thing about this, and what I view as essentially Confucian and Chinese, is exactly the insisting on the unity of this whole process. So the goal of spiritual development is to make a difference in the world. Outer and inner development are not separate from each other. It's not the case that spiritual development means with
彼一生懸命前からそうだけど、内外のね、そのスピリチュアルなそのデベロップメントっていうのは内面的にも外面的にもそれがその一つだよっていうことを言ってんだよな。